Royal. For the football team's 50th anniversary, they are unveiling new uniforms. Here's KNSU TV's Brandon Thomas with Inside Athletics.
Okay, well, without further ado, let's present the new project that they've been working on. As you see right here, our 50th anniversary game is coming up, and what better way to celebrate that than rolling out a new uniform? Caroline, can you just break down some of the different elements of the full uniform?
Yeah, of course. So first we have our big 50 number up in the front. That's a throwback to our old time jerseys, stitching, just trying to incorporate that. Our kernels in the front, we also incorporated, and our gray stripes down the sides are also a new addition. And probably the most obvious new addition are our blue stripes on the sides. So the blue stripes are actually a part of our old colors for Nichols. I know it's probably a strange color, but it's something that we're proud of, and we were excited to incorporate in the jersey.
Let's get a more in-depth look at the jersey. First off, right here, we have the 50th anniversary patch. Just talk about the significance of the patch. You see at the bottom of the patch, there's a missing bar in between there. Just describe that to me.
Yeah, so the missing bar symbolizes our alumni who have passed. They're a huge representation of our department. They're a very big role, and it's just to symbolize and a memory of them.
Next up, we got the helmet. Tell me a little bit about that logo. That's kind of different from us down here. We're used to the end with a sword in it.
Yeah, so the old time in decal we have on the helmet is actually our first logo from the 1971 to 1978 football team, I believe. It was something we wanted to incorporate, not just as a jersey, but also on our helmets. It was a lot of work, and a lot of people came together to work on this project, and I'm really proud to speak on their behalf today. It's been something we've been working on for the past few months, and we were finally able to release it to the public yesterday, and it's something we're all very proud of and excited to talk about.
And let's look at that last slide.
So this one, you get a closer look at our patches, and also our kernels, of course, and the gray stripes. So if you can look closely, our top part, the shoulder area, and the body of the front of the jersey are different textures, different colors actually. It's just to represent our old jersey, the different colors in the reds and the maroons and grays, it all just ties up into one, just to represent our school and our past and our department.
Nichols is recognizing veterans with a series of events. Nichols State University and the Office of Veteran Services are honoring veterans. Ellender Memorial Library is hosting 2 exhibits, which are Veterans of Southeast Louisiana and the Pelican State Goes to War. The Veterans of Southeast Louisiana collection, created by Nichols Archives and Special Collections Department, features a digital experience. It consists of on-camera interviews of veterans living in Southeast Louisiana. Other features are a short biography, photographs, and documents of each veteran. Veteran Services hosted a ceremony at 11 a.m. in the quad, and local veterans retreated to free lunch in Galliano Dining Hall afterwards. Staff writer Delaney Ligori gives an update on all things happening at our campus news magazine, The Nichols Worth.
Hi, I'm Delaney Ligori, and I'm a staff writer, and this is what's in The Nichols Worth. This week we're covering Homecoming King and Queen profiles, why movie reviews are bad, the Marvel movie Eternal review, the movie Dune review, and Renee Hicks feature profile. On November 13th, The Nichols Worth is handing out their new feature magazine story covering the Hurricane Ida losses. It will be local stories and student stories all around and everyone impacted by the disaster. We are excited to release this new magazine as it was very hard hitting to home. Hurricane Ida hurt many people around the surrounding communities, and we just hope that we can highlight and be able to reach anyone who is hurt and will be able to feel with us what everyone went through. We appreciate everyone reaching out and submitting in articles on their personal stories, and we can't wait to read what everyone has put in. The history of Hurricane Ida will live on forever, and we will never forget, because we are Louisiana strong. This is Delaney Liguori, and this is What's in the Nichols Worth.
A Nichols department was selected for an award. Nichols Geomatics program received a 2021 Surveying Education Award of $15,000 from the National Council of Examiners for Engineering and Surveying. The NCEES develops, proctors, and grades surveying licensure testers in U.S. Guam, Puerto Rico, the Northern Mariana Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The NCEES uses student outcomes, student involvement, outreach, and recruitment as their school selection criteria. The Geomatics Department plans to use the reward for a workshop that is scheduled to introduce high school STEM teachers to the basic concepts of geomatics. Cell phone video shows the series of events resulting in 8 deaths at the Astroworld Festival in Houston. City leaders and first responders are providing details about what happened. Janelle Blueday put it all together in this timeline.
Astroworld tickets sold out quickly back in May. Thousands waited 6 months for the concert, and November 5th it was finally here. The festival started at 2 p.m. Gates opened an hour earlier. And in the beginning, there was already chaos. Dozens pushed through the gates and many were trampled on in the rush. From then on, all of these videos are from the same person's phone they show. At 4:45, rapper Don Toliver was on stage. At 5:35, rapper Roddy Ricch was performing. At 6:41, crowds were waiting for Lil Baby. And in the darkness, at 9:02, Travis Scott comes on stage. At 9:22, a typical concert and all of the energy it brings, but within the next 16 minutes, something happened. At 9:38, video shows people are stopped, many concerned, looking down while the concert continues in the background. 3 minutes later, a security officer is on his radio, and 1 minute later, dozens of hands are in the air signaling for help. And within the next 10 minutes, this video at 9:53 shows people were on the ground, others giving them CPR, and a minute after that, surprise guest Drake is on stage, where he performs with Travis Scott for the next several minutes while people on the ground are waiting for help. At 10:05, you can see a Houston police officer is helping the group. The crowd remains at a standstill in this section, and at 10:08, stretchers arrive, nearly 30 minutes after those initial concertgoers were trying to flag down for help. The mayor says reports were made known that people were being injured at around 9:30 and says the concert was shut down at 10:10. This video shows Travis Scott's final song was being performed at 10:09.
All In will be back with the social media save and skateboards made from real pizza.
Well, yes, sir. We'll get right on that. I'll see you in the morning, okay? All right, bye. I'm going to need you to pull the 2 coordinates for the DOQQ. TLU Communication needs to build a new tower to fill a gap in their cell coverage, and they're going to need a clear line of sight between that tower and their antenna.
I'm downloading the DTM for a cross-section view.
We're going to have to get that hill of ground truth to find out what's there.
There's a field crew in that vicinity. I can make the call.
Okay, what do you need? We have a mature pine plantation about 60 feet tall.
There's a clear line of sight at 175 feet and above. That's how tall they'll need to build.
All right, looks good. Print it off. All right, here's the information on the hill we were looking at. It seems perfect for your new tower.
We'll start construction immediately. Thanks for getting this so quickly. In the past, we'd have to wait weeks.
Well, you gotta love modern geomatics.
More like geo magic. We need boundary.
An entrepreneur is entering uncharted territory by combining his 2 passions, pizza and skateboarding. Jeremy Roth has the inside scoop.
One artist's pie-in-the-sky idea for designing skateboards from pizza seems destined to deliver him to viral stardom. For pizzeria owner Saman Koshbari, the idea wasn't all that cheesy.
I skateboard for like 18 years now. So I was like, pizza, skateboard.
Here's the recipe. He makes the pizza, then coats it with an epoxy resin in a mold, allowing it to harden over 10 days. Add some wheels and a polish, and voila! A mozzarella roller. The board is just one of many culinary creations in Koshbari's kitchen, but for skaters hungry for a taste of his signature item, this shredded cheese shredder will set you back some cheddar, just over $800. For innovation ripened on the vines, look no further than Heinz. The condiment company just revealed its Mars Edition ketchup, a special formula made from tomatoes grown by a team of astrobiologists. The 2-year experiment used a controlled environment with soil temperature and water conditions similar to Mars. It showed the possibility of long-term food production on the red planet. From completely confounding condiments to really surreal real estate. For house hunters looking to get medieval, look no further than this spectacular Connecticut castle that's up for grabs. It sports 9 bedrooms, 12 fireplaces, and even a moat. But those looking to capture this kingly kingdom better start pinching their pennies. The asking price is a cool $35 million. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
AMC Theaters plans to make it easier to recreate the movie theater experience at home. The company says it will sell its popcorn in supermarkets and malls starting next year. The move will let people buy freshly popped AMC popcorn at mall kiosks and quick service counters. The first 5 shops are slated to open in early 2022, with more being added by the end of the year. The company will also sell packaged and microwavable versions of their popcorn at stores, as well as to-go packages of popcorn for takeout or pickup at its theaters. AMC claims it sells up to 52 million bags of popcorn each year. That's the most popcorn of any movie theater company in the entire world. Calls for plant-based diets to save the planet from the climate crisis are growing louder. But there is another quieter revolution reshaping the agricultural world. Some farmers say what people eat is not as important as how they farm. They believe cattle and cropland could help save the planet. CNN's David McKenzie reports on how a South African farmer is using regenerative agriculture to fight climate change.
Donnie Slubbert likes to say he's just a simple farmer. Likes to say what he does is simple to understand.
So this is so simple. This is what we want. Look at this soil.
This soil is alive, but this soil also is doing the job for you. You don't have to add all this.
This soil is a natural system. It does the job for me.
Healthy soil doesn't need additives like toxic and costly fertilizers. Simple as that may sound, if you care about climate change, his is a story worth listening to. Livestock accounts for just over 14% of global emissions. But Slubbert says we are missing the point when it comes to food. Want to save the planet? Focus on how we farm, not what we eat.
People these days are saying that meat and cattle is bad for nature or bad for the planet. Is that true? Do you see it that way?
David, that can't be true. Animals are part of nature. It was in the bigger plan.
He gives his cattle a chance to act the way nature intended.
100 to 200 years back, in this specific area of South Africa, there was millions of animals migrating throughout summer in these areas.
From above, it's easy to see. High-intensity grazing mimics those great migrations. And with 30 to 40% of the Earth's surface covered by grassland, it's a method with global potential.
So these cattle are actually replenishing your land.
Exactly that, yeah. The microbial life in the stomach of cattle are the same system of the microbial life in soil. So those two work together beautifully.
Research done by Texas A&M shows even moderately effective grazing sequesters more carbon into the soil than the cattle emit. The healthier the soil, the more carbon is captured.
In Africa especially, is feeling the heat. So climate change is a real issue. And we get all this blame as farmers. but we've got the solutions in the palm of our hands.
Healthy soil also retains moisture. Plowing destroys that ability, which is why his cornfields look like this. Not like the perfect, never-ending rows of industrial agriculture. And when winter comes, he'll graze the cattle here too, to replenish the soil in time for the next growing season, with 4 to 6 tons of fresh, natural manure for free.
And you can really get this biology going, then you don't have to buy something out of a bag.
Letting nature work sounds simple enough, but then what's simple is often ignored.
Have we forgotten the connection with the land?
Yeah, David, in a sense, I think we have. So this whole chemical revolution has given us so much recipes to just put everything in synthetically. And it really disconnected us with nature and with the land. If you maybe can smell this, you will smell the life.
You can.
And that is the beauty of what
David McKenzie, CNN, Rates, South Africa.
Social media saves the day. A teenage girl is rescued after she is spotted giving a viral hand gesture meaning, "I need help." Jeremy Root has this story and more.
Authorities in Kentucky say a viral hand gesture learned on TikTok helped lead to the rescue of an alleged abduction victim. Laurel County deputies say a 16-year-old North Carolina girl who had been taken across state lines was spotted in a vehicle by motorists on the highway.
There was some people behind her that noticed that she was making hand gestures that signifies for "I need help."
Authorities responded, stopping the vehicle and eventually reuniting the teen girl with her family. They say the hand gesture originated from a TikTok video that has since gone viral. One advocacy group is praising the use of social media to spread this universal language of emergency assistance.
As a society, we're paying attention. We're taking care of each other. So we can't do it if we don't speak the same language.
A school day in Canada turned surreal when a giant moose smashed through a classroom window in Saskatoon. Only one minor injury was reported and all students were safely removed. Conservation officers say the moose was dazed from its grand entrance, but they were able to tranquilize and remove it to be safely released outside the city. Finally, a moose on the loose in South Dakota showed its school spirit by taking a victory lap on a football field at South Dakota State. Authorities worked to wrangle the moose, but not before it got to the 40, the 30, the 20, it's going for the touch. Okay, well, it went out of bounds. Close enough. The surreal moment happened one day before the school's annual game against their rivals, the North Dakota Bison. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Next up, KNSU Radio with a new review. The Lady Colonels helped to usher in a new era in LSU basketball. The Lady Colonels basketball team opened their season at LSU. Head coach Dobie Plaisance is in her 12th season at Nichols. LSU is ushering in a new era in Baton Rouge as Kim Mulkey coaches her first game for the Lady Tigers against our Colonels. LSU guard Kalia Pointer did not let her new coach down. She became only the third player in program history to record a triple-double in the game. Another Tiger milestone at the expense of our Lady Colonels was LSU's senior center Faustine Afua surpassing 1,000 career points. Colonel guard Tyra Bruce led the team with 10 points. Forward Lauren Bowie led the Colonels with 4 rebounds and 3 steals in only 20 minutes of play. LSU started strongly, holding Nichols to only 10 first half points. They continued to dominate in the second half, winning the game 82-40. The Tigers have an all-time record of 14-0 against the Lady Colonels. They have also held Nichols below 50 points in the last 5 games. The Lady Colonels return home tomorrow as Tougaloo College Bulldogs come to town. Tip-off is at 5 p.m. in Stoford Gym. Ed Sheeran released his 9th studio album, Equals. Here with the review is KNSU Radio with the weekly music segment.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the weekly music segment. I am 52.
I'm the real Slim Leah.
And today we're talking about Ed Sheeran's new album, Equals. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the weekly music segment. I am 52.
I'm the real Slim Leah.
And today we're talking about Ed Sheeran's new album, Equals. Okay, so our producer Hannah asked us to review this album, and we obliged, right? But I just want to say flat out, I am not the biggest Ed Sheeran fan. Are you an Ed Sheeran fan?
I like some of his stuff, but I wouldn't call myself an avid fan.
I feel like he's at that point where he can drop literally anything, it'll like be popular enough, like how Drake is, right? But so for Equals, it's the same problem that I had with Olivia Rodrigo's album Sour, where like the tone of it is always changing with like between songs. So like Tide starts out like it's a ballad, right? Like a guitar ballad, right? But then it gets to like Shivers and the complete halt, just a complete halt. And I'm like, you throw me off. I need, when I like an album, I like if it's like a consistency, you know? If this album was just like complete piano ballads, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But it's the fact that there's upbeat stuff along with a lot of slow stuff that kind of just ruins the tone of the album for me.
A lot of the songs I felt sounded the same. They had the same beat, or it's like, wait, I heard this one already.
Yeah.
But then First Times and Bad Habits were the first 2 good songs I really liked on the album. And then The Joker and the Queen, we were discussing earlier that was probably the best song on the album, and they should have put it last.
Yeah, it's a really good closer. It's not good at track number 6. But favorite songs, I did like Joker and the Queen. I also did like, which was it? Two Step is really good. I love Two Step. And also, of course, Bad Habits is obviously the big hit from his album. It's good. It's a good little song.
I don't have a favorite.
No favorites?
I would like him to put the name of the album, not just an Equals song.
Yeah. Well, because like his stuff is like there was Plus Sign, then there was The Vibe, which was the really big one, like what was that, 3 years ago, 4 years ago? And now it's Equals. So, you know.
I guess that's the thing he's doing.
Yeah, that's just how he labels his albums or whatever. As a rating, I think this is like a 4 to a 5 out of 10. It's not for me, but it's Ed Sheeran. If you like Ed Sheeran, you're probably gonna like this album no matter what. About you?
Give it like a 3.8.
Oh my gosh, okay. Right. Well, that has been the weekly music segment. I'm 52.
I'm the real Slim Leah.
And catch us next time on All In.
My bad habits lead to late nights, sitting alone, conversations with a stranger I barely know.
The District 7 Marching Festival was back on track with performances yesterday. After a year off because of COVID, the District 7 Marching Festival came to Nichols to compete again. 16 bands traveled from Terrebonne, Lafourche, Assumption, Lafayette, and other parishes to the John L. Gidger Stadium yesterday to perform. Schools still being affected by Hurricane Ida did not compete, but they came to entertain. The bands were judged on their marching, playing, drumline, color guard, and drum major. The Nichols Marching Band played their Michael Jackson show before the awards ceremony. 4 astronauts aboard the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule splashed down Monday off the coast of Florida. It capped off a 6-month stay in space. Journey home kicked off Thursday just after 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The spacecraft spent nearly 9 hours slowly maneuvering through orbit before it splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico around 10:30 p.m. A fleet of rescue ships brought the 4 astronauts to safety. During their stay in space, they oversaw numerous science experiments and conducted spacewalks. The trek home did present some issues. A broken toilet left the astronauts without a bathroom option. The crew was forced to rely on what were essentially adult diapers during the 9-hour journey. The next SpaceX astronaut launch, called Crew 3, was delayed, first by weather issues and then by a minor medical issue with one of the astronauts. NASA said last week that it's expecting that medical issue to clear before takeoff, which could happen today. A certain Crimson Canine leaped from his beloved series of children's books to the big screen. David Daniel has a look.
Look at you, Uncle Casey, so cute.
I'm so rad.
How big is he gonna get?
That depends, doesn't it?
On what?
On how much you love him.
A lot of love and a wish turned this little pooch into Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Clifford?
Darby Camp plays Emily Elizabeth, who needs a friend.
I see myself in her a lot of the time, and she is struggling with friends and being bullied.
Did you bring your garbage to school?
And she finds this dog who kind of, helps her find herself.
Shouldn't we try to hide him or something?
It's New York. No one will even notice.
Among the many who notice, a biotech baddie played by Tony Hale.
Here's this dog who just everybody loves and wants to embrace, and I'm like, nah, I want to exploit. I want the money.
On Emily Elizabeth and Clifford's side, her immature uncle, played by Jack Whitehall, and comedy legend John Cleese as the magical man who brings girl and dog together.
This is a happy-making film, and people come out of it a lot more happy about life on the planet than when they went in there.
What if you found someone who was so full of love?
Ah, he's slipping!
Made you feel like you could do anything.
Your dog just saved my life!
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Cleese's character, Mr. Bridwell, is named for Norman Bridwell, the author of the Clifford books. Clifford the Big Red Dog opens today in theaters and on Paramount+. That's all for today's All In. I am Shannon Roy. See you next Wednesday or whenever you watch the stream. Have a great week.